Good evening, everyone. My name is Akanksha Vichare, Associate Editor of Ace Update magazine, and I welcome you all to the interaction session on designing better roads and bridges. Roads and bridges are critical components of our transportation infrastructure, providing vital links for mobility, economic growth, and social connectivity. In this webinar, we will explore the latest innovations in the roads and bridges construction that go beyond traditional concrete and steel approaches. From advanced materials to cutting edge technologies, we will dwell into the advancements that are reshaping the field of road and bridges construction. Keeping this plan in mind, ACE Update is conducting an online interaction on designing better roads and bridges. The distinguished speakers for today's interaction on designing better roads and bridges are Mr. Vikas Sharma, Director, Genesis Infra Project Consultant, Mr. JD Tripathi, Project Manager, Larsen and Toubro Limited, and Mr. Himanshu Agarwal, Senior Vice President, International Markets, Zydex Industries Private Limited. So my first question is, all my guest speakers, what would be your choice in this matter, creating iconic bridges and roads or creating sustainable and green projects? What would you choose and why? Mr. Vikas?
My choice would be creating of ecosystem for sustainability, as sustainability is inversely enhancing green projects. For example, there is a new technology, stone metric asphalt, which is which we compare as to concrete roads. It is sustainable and cost effective, as well as it element less pollution and it takes less time for construction. So I think that would be my answer.
Thank you, Mr. Vikas, for letting us know your choice. Mr. Himanshu, what would you choose?
Uh, First of all, good evening and thanks for this opportunity. I don't think there is a choice in terms of choosing what. Whatever we construct today has to be A, sustainable, B, green. We need to have minimal carbon footprint to whatever we construct. The second question, and that's very important, as one of the panelists started by saying, is whatever we construct, we need to increase the life of that asset. If we are today, as per the government of India, living in Amrit Kal, which is talking of a horizon of 25 years, post 25 years, we need to make sure all the assets that we create today are definitely there in the pink of health, not deteriorated. So that would be my response to it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Himanshu. Mr. JD, what would be your choice?
As for my choice is creating sustainable and green projects. This is need of the day, and this is the need of human life. And our central government, as well as some state government, is focusing on this point. Undoubtedly, improvement and exploration of technology provide basis for economic development of country like India. These are my point.
Thank you, Mr. JD, for answering that. My next question, if we consider different kind of roads and when it comes to the architectural design, so see, nowadays we also see a lot of traffic congestion at the intersection points. So how elevated road designs can ease them? If you could share your points on them. Mr. Himanshu?
Thanks for this question. We need to fundamentally reimagine our mobility strategy. What do I mean? Today, we need to make sure that we have last mile connectivity for the user from a airport to a railroad to a road. We need to make sure that the last house that we are going in, within 100 to 200 meters, you have a transportation which is safe, convenient, and not stressful. Once we look at that, we need to have a matrix of having monorails, circular rails, or metro lights, and then we will be able to minimize the the traffic that we have and the congestion that we have. One way is to go elevated, which the Ministry of Roads and Transport is thinking, but the other way to look at it is, can we reduce the congestion by which we are actually debottlenecking and creating fresh roads? Because unfortunately or fortunately, in cities, you do not have space to construct. The moment you go elevated, it reduces the beauty of the city.
Thank you so much for your views, Mr. Himanshu. Mr. Vikas, what would be your views?
I totally agree with Mr. Himanshu that last mile connectivity is the most important thing we need now, because from metro to home or whatever residence we are staying in is the need of the hour. And so bridge might while constructing a bridge, there might be traffic congestion again, and we are disturbing the public life. So this would be my idea.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vikas. Mr. J.D. Tripathi, what are your views?
Yes, Akansha. These are depends upon the geography, where we are developing road infrastructure, where we are developing, where the need of bridges. These are the complete depends upon the geography of where we are developing the road network. Based on the geography and good architectural planning based on the basic survey and alignment. Both cases are in India. Either go for elevated or at busiest intersection. You know that all of the Delhi is maximum elevated flyovers. But still we are observing Delhi is busy. Either in the case of elevated or in the case of at grade, how we can control, how we can develop latest technology, integrated traffic management system. That is a need of India. Because most of the city are all developed. Developing number of overbridges, number of flyover, improvement of intersection, upgradation of roads, that is incurring huge cost, huge budget. So in that case, to mobility of the traffic, not possible to construct the flyovers, construct the overbridges, keeping the actual condition. We are adapting. Actually, in the world, the technology already has been developed. Now India is developing country. We can explain in this meeting, but much more important thing, how it can be implemented. The implementation bodies should be aware the latest technology, latest integrated traffic management system, latest potential of the traffic loads at various intersections, busiest intersection. This is actually very critical in India for the for implementation. We know, we are learning, we are listening the latest technology, we are continuously reading, but implementation ground, that is much more important in India. Actually, we totally depends on the conventional technology. We are not ready to adopt non-conventional technology. That is my our worry. That is my case. This is our concern.
Mr. J.D. Tripathi, thank you for sharing your views. Moving on to Mr. Vikas. Mr. Vikas, can you discuss how emerging technologies are enhancing road planning and designing?
Emerging technologies are making the process of designing easy, cost effective, and less labor ingress. Like BIM or artificial intelligence, and drones are now used for making DPR and all that stuff. So it's cost, it's very important aspects of construction now, actually.
Right, sir. Mr. Himanshu, would you like to add it?
Today, the emerging technologies encompass vehicle to vehicle communication, which means that we are able to do traffic management. Of course, design side already shared on terms of BIM. But what is also very important, in my opinion, which a task which needs to be done is the vehicle to pavement communication. We need to bring sensors inside the pavement itself so that we can monitor the health of the pavement dynamic through the life of the pavement. That means we are talking from cradle to grave. End of life, we need to monitor what kind of quality that there is, because the cost of reconstruction is far higher than the cost of ensuring a preventive maintenance.
Right, sir. Right. All right. Moving on to Mr. J.D. Tripathi. So I have a question for you. How does architectural design impact the cost of a road project?
Actually, architectural design for any structure, either in concern of the road or bridges, that is much more important. Architectural suggestion is a basis for the designer structural design. or economical design based on the architectural vision. Architect during the basic planning, as per my concern, to collect the real data for which geography architectural design is being proposed and suggest to use the local available material, locally available workmen's, people convenience, not go for modern view, modern elevation, modernization. If you consider in that point architectural design, no doubt project will be not economical. The better alignment plan, consider the real-time data, consider the real latest technology, consider the locally available resources, consider the locally available manpower, consider the locally available man and machineries. These all will reduce the cost. That is my concern. And the much more important things in architectural design, how to control the traffic management system and future potential load of traffic. We are not designing the road for one day. As per conventional method in India, flexible pavement and rigid pavement. That is a conventional method and that we are adopting since beginning. So that need to be changed. That is not environmental effective, not safe for workmen working at site, not people convenience, etc. And controlling for better designing, there is, that IoT, data collection, Internet of the Things. For any design, any structures, any road, any transportation sectors, need to collect the real-time data and future potential load, traffic load. That is much more important. Why? If you go in the metro city, every junctions are busiest and vehicles are ideal more than 30 minutes, 1 hour. That will also affecting the environment. You know that fuel emission, raising the carbon concentration. These are the due to the not you can say good planning. For the architectural point of view, I am sharing few useful points. IoT technology, Internet of the Things, data collection. The points are integrated traffic management system. Better devices can be used. That must be included by the architect in your basic planning to control the intersections, speed sensors, acoustic sensors, that is useful. Decibel load will be reduced. IP CCTV camera, smart traffic lights, condition, weather monitoring system, digital signage, IoT sensor, camera. What is the advantage of this? Is a very real advantage. Real time to easy traffic flow. First point. Second point, reduce pollution and improve road condition. And also we can improve criminal activity also by these data. So my concern is the architect must have to aware of these things and must be included in their basic design parameters. That is my concern.
Thank you so much, Chiri Tripathi, for answering that. Mr. Himanshu, Mr. Vikas, do you have anything to add in?
Sure, thanks. Advanced telematics very important as you move on life because basically these roads, highways, and I'm not considering only highways. We can talk of national highways, expressways, state highways, and I would also say the rural highways, not rural roads really, because if we are to go from close to $4 trillion to 30 trillion to $40 trillion in the next 2 decades, we need to look at these roads as arteries of nation and prosperity corridors, which means it is the sanctity of the road surface being rideable quality must be a given. That means the designer of the road, the construction agency, and the client, they must look at outcome based construction through the life, we should have a situation wherein we do not have a single pothole on the road. Now, that's a very, very important dimension because what it implies is that the construction has to be of such a quality that it has long life. Secondly, it takes care of sustainability. Third, it takes care of the carbon footprint reduction as well. And very important point which I wanted to share is today, look at the cost of fuel which is used in the cities as idling fuel. It takes in Baroda 15 minutes to drive 10 kilometers in peak time, while in Delhi and Bangalore, maybe it takes 7 times of that time. It takes an hour and a half, which means the vehicle is burning fuel, which is a forex import cost that we are incurring. We need to go for financial engineering in terms of how we look at our mobility itself. That would mean that if we give 1 lakh buses into Bangalore, imagine everybody can go from everywhere to everywhere. You don't have to construct the additional road and the number of vehicles will reduce. So we need to really look at the larger dimension. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Himanshu, for sharing your views. Those were really very interesting. Mr. Vikas, anything you want to add in?
Yeah, connectivity is important. Actually, we have to connect to villages from urban to city expressways and state roads. This would be my suggestion.
Right, right. All right. Thank you so much, panelists, for such an thoughtful and enlightening discussion.
AC Update is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. We would also request viewers to stay tuned for future interactions. With that, today's interaction has now come to a close. Thank you and goodbye.